To Catholic Views. I'm Casey Bassett. Renee is out, filling in for her. In studio today, we have Philip Eisenberg. He joins me and talks about some time in seminary. Like me, he discerned out, and he gives some great insight into what life was like after seminary and how the structure and formation of seminary impacted his life as a husband and father. So it's a great interview. Tune in for that. But first, Biblical Bites with Dr. B.
Hi, Casey.
Hello.
So you didn't I'm the fill-in. I'm the interim. I'm Casey Bassett.
I didn't play it up.
Renee's not here.
I didn't play it up.
Good, fair enough. Casey, do I always quiz. I don't always. I often quiz Renee. Do you have any idea what Sunday we're
31st.
Oh.
I did.
But you didn't look at the readings. You just knew it was
just
the
looked.
So we've got a few more weeks here left in the liturgical year before Advent, the start of the new liturgical year on December 1st, or technically the evening of Saturday the 30th.
Nice.
But anyway, this Sunday's reading, though, to focus, the Gospel from Mark starts this way. One of the scribes came to Jesus and asked him, which is the first of all the commandments? Jesus replied, the first is this. And then he quotes Deuteronomy. Mm-hmm. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is Lord alone. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and all strength. Mind, all strength. The second is you shall love your neighbor as yourself. And it goes on from there. So I actually want to look briefly at the first reading for Mass today, which is from Deuteronomy. It's chapter 6, verses 2 and following. Moses spoke to the people, saying, Fear the Lord your God, and keep throughout the days of your lives all his statutes and commandments which I enjoin on you, and thus have a long life. Hear then, O Israel, and he goes on. And then verse 4, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. Therefore you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. Take to heart these words which I enjoin on you today. So that's where Jesus is quoting from the Old Testament when he's summarizing the first and second commandments are to love God and love your neighbor. So that wasn't anything new. It was the extent to what that meant, who was the neighbor and all that. What I want to actually go, though, our reading, what I was struck by, Moses spoke to the people and said, Fear the Lord your God. And I feel like a lot of Catholics are like, aha, see, we're supposed to be afraid of him.
Yes.
So you're saying yes. Why are you saying yes?
Well, that's typically what I hear is like, it's like that fear of like cowering fear, sort of.
Right. Or servile fear.
Yeah,
Sometimes
there you
it's
go.
called. Yeah. So it's like a slave who's afraid the master's going
Right.
to beat them.
Right.
See, we're supposed to fear. No, it's the fear that a son or a daughter should rightly have in front of a loving father. So it's not because this is why we go on to hear about loving the Lord your God. Sure. It's not that you're supposed to love the cruel master who beats you mercilessly. It's you love your father before you, whom you have rightful awe and respect, God being the perfect father. So I think when we hear the idea of fear, not servile fear, but the fear of a child for their parent.
Great. Thanks, Dr. B.
You bet.